lot of different subjects off. One in particular, we gonna talk about Tank's pay-per-view numbers. The results are in, I guess, and we'll talk about them. And we're also gonna talk about Cool Boy Steve going over to Japan. Talk about some other stuff. Talk about some upcoming fights coming up. So, let's get it going. All right, so early reports had Tank Davis doing around 61,000 pay-per-views for his fight versus Hector Garcia, in which Tank was victorious via TKO knockout. The first reports came out that this fight did like 61,000. So now the latest reports is that it did 200 and some change. That always seemed to be some kind of special number when you hear about some of these that 1,000. That always seemed to be like that bottom line at 200,000, like on All About the Benjamins. And I'm not going to dispute whether it did it or not. Whatever these numbers do, that's just you have reports with certain people that'll say, hey, my sources said it did this much, then another dude will say, oh no, that's wrong, my sources say it did this much. So at the end of the day, you never know, man. If it did, fine. If it didn't, whatever. But nevertheless, Tank is a bona fide star. Tank can pack arenas, that's for sure. So he is an attraction. He fights, people show up. And that's just the bottom line, whether we like it or not. So I'm not going to sit up here and say whether or not, I'm not going to say whether or not it did what it did. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no vested interest in it one way or another. That's just something I usually don't even like talking about, that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, you got one group of people, that's what they'll try to use pay-per-view numbers to try to elevate somebody that they like, and then try to, shoot down somebody else. That's what you get with the Spence Brigade. They love to holler about what somebody doing on pay-per-view, and that's always been a question mark. And they love to talk about how much money somebody should get paid. They love to sit up here and play managers and stuff. But they fake anyway. And if you're listening, every last one of you, so whatever. If Tank did 200,000, congratulations to Tank. I mess with Tank. And I can tell you right now, Tank and his people, they watch videos. They watch these videos, and that's just the bottom line, which a lot of these fighters watch these videos. They'll try to pretend that they don't, but they watch videos. If they don't, they'll have somebody from their team watch the video, and then they'll send it to them, and they'll end up watching it. So that's what I mean by these fighters watch our videos. Now I want to talk about Cool Boy Steve, going to Japan, to fight anyway, however you pronounce his name. If he going overseas, they giving that dude the bag. They giving him a bag, and that's just real talk. And I'm happy for the brother. Now let's just hope he go over there and win, and come back to the States with a victory. But this is gonna be interesting. You got to ask that question: Can the monster's power carry up to another division? a knockout artist. So he really is going to have to rely on boxing. And he has the odds stacked against him because, well, he's going overseas. He's going to Japan. And the question is, can he get a fair decision? Even if he outboxes him, will he get a fair decision? And that's what I'm worried about with Cool Boy Steve. Will he get a fair decision? Will the right decision be made? Because what happened with Rashidi Ellis, that was terrible. The wrong guy got the decision, and I stand by that. And the dude seemed like he a nice guy, Villa, but he didn't win that fight, man. That fight wasn't even, like I said, that fight wasn't even close. And for anybody to try to sit up there and try to say they could see how he could have won that fight, they just not being honest. How do you lose the first 9 to 10 rounds going away, and you still end up winning the fight via majority decision or something? Like, come on, man. That wasn't the business. And if you honest, you gotta keep it a buck, man. That wasn't feeling that. Because I know the wrong guy won. Villa didn't win that fight, man. He didn't win that fight. It wasn't even close. I know dude got knocked down twice in like the final round, but that just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. He should have been well ahead on the scorecards, and they took it away from him. So I just don't like that kind of stuff, man. But the dude said he'd give him a rematch. Hopefully they put it on one of these upcoming cards. Maybe they'll put the rematch on Ryan Garcia versus Tank. It appears that a press conference is coming soon. It seemed like the fight is pretty much a done deal. There's going to be a press conference. Dan Caleb Plant and David Benavidez is going to have a press conference pretty soon to announce their showdown on March the 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand. That's going to be a hell of a fight. That's going to be a hell of a fight. Then on the same night, you have Jose Ramirez making his return to the ring in pretty much a year versus Richard Tommy. Now there's that Jose Ramirez turned down the fade with Regis Prograis. Not a good look, but I understand. You've been off a year and then you go into a fight like that. You do need a tune-up fight before you fight somebody like Regis. Regis is always a dangerous fighter. He's always a dangerous guy. He only had one loss, and his one loss is questionable to Josh Taylor. That fight could have went either way. Me, myself, I thought Regis did enough. To win the fight, but I'm not going to claim robbery because, Josh Taylor had his moments too, but could have went either way. It could have went either way. I wish they would have ran it back. But that's just me. They should have ran it back, but, Josh Taylor, I don't know when he's going to return, because you were hearing about him fighting Jack Catterall again. And I got to be completely honest with you. Most people that saw that Jack Catterall fight thought that Josh Taylor lost that fight. I thought Josh Taylor lost that fight. I think Catterall got robbed. And I think a lot of people know it. I thought Josh Taylor clearly lost that fight. But he was fighting close to home, so they went with the hometown guy. But Jack Catterall, he won that fight to me, and a lot of people thought that he won that fight. A a lot of people thought he won that fight going away pretty much. He dropped Josh Taylor. He hurt him. Like, he hurt him quite a few times. Right? And he should have got the nod. But I understand the politics in boxing. That's just how it goes sometimes. And that's what I'm worried about with Cool Boy. I'm just wondering what's more important to him going out there winning the fight or the bag. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they want him to come to Japan, they paying him a pretty penny, which is good for him. Get your bread. Get your bread. Get your bread, man. So, oh yeah. It appears that Floyd Mayweather was going to schedule a fight the same day as Adrian Broner's long-awaited return to the ring. And this is what bothers me about Floyd when he pulls these type of things. They're saying the dude got her textbook Floyd everything about him. And this is why people get irritated with Floyd, because he pulls these kind of things. And I don't understand for the life of me, why do these promotional companies like to schedule fights for the same night when they could just all have their events, you know, within weeks of each other. But, you know, trying to understand some of the optics of how they figure these things out with boxing, you just be scratching your head, just be like, you gotta be kidding me. So, you know, Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, that's just gonna be a barn burner. That's just gonna be a hell of a fight. You got Caleb Plant, I guess you could say he's a superior boxer, but then you have David Benavidez, who can box and he got power. So this is gonna make for a great fight. I guarantee you're going to get your money's worth. Like I said before, March 25th can't come soon enough. You know, because I'm looking forward to that fight. That fight is gonna be lit. But anyway, you guys, I'll be back with more later on. Gotta go to the bank, pay these bills. Anyway, I'm out.